Hi everyone, welcome back again to Bake Your Way Kitchens. Today we are making the ultimate cookie. I honestly believe, and I'm not just saying this is the best cookie recipe there is. Period. I've made so many cookies growing up and this is definitely the absolute best one. So I would highly recommend that you follow this recipe. What you're going to need is 1.5 cups of butter, 350 grams. You're going to need 1 cup of brown sugar, that is about 210 grams. You're going to need 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, that's 150 grams. You will need 90 grams of rolled oats, but uh, which is one cup, but I usually add about a cup and a half. You're going to need 2 mashed bananas, 1/3 of a cup of almond butter, 2 cups of chocolate chips, and I've used a mixture of semi-sweet with milk chocolate and white chocolate. You're going to need 2 large eggs, 1/3 of a cup of almond butter, and vanilla bean paste. Now, if you don't have vanilla bean paste, you can use vanilla extract. You're going to need a tablespoon. And you're also, for your dry ingredients, you're going to need 2 cups of flour, which is 330 grams, a teaspoon of coffee granules, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of baking powder. So the first thing we're going to do to get started is to put our flour and just all our dry ingredients together. And what we're going to do right now is sift it. And this is just to make sure that all the dry ingredients are incorporated. The last thing you want is to bite into a cookie that's got baking powder or something like that. So this really just makes sure that the mixture is really well combined. So that's it for the dry mixture. Now on to the rest of the mixture. As I mentioned, you need 1.5 cups of butter, which I've put here. It should be at room temperature. I usually let it like to have it very soft because I like the dough very soft. So what we're going to do now is put this down and beat this on high speed for about 1 or 2 minutes. So after 1 to 2 minutes, your butter should look like this. It should be nice and creamy smooth. So before we add in the rest of the ingredients, we're just going to wipe down the sides here. As you can see, I don't have one of those attachments to scrape down the sides as it's beating. I'm going to get one of those soon, I hope. So now we're going to add in our sugars. So we're going to add our 1 cup of brown sugar, as well as our 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. We're also going to add in our bananas. So add in the bananas now. Our 2 eggs. Now, if you want, you can beat the eggs in one at a time, but I just don't think it's necessary. I do this all the time, and it tastes amazing without having the need to do that. Your vanilla bean paste or vanilla extract. And as I mentioned, you do use a tablespoon. You can use less if you want. I just think that that vanilla flavor in the cookies is so good, and it works so well with any cookie. So, there we go. We're also going to add in our almond butter. It's never-ending ingredients here. It really is an everything cookie because there's just so much involved here. And just so you know, this does make a lot of cookies. So what I usually do when I make this recipe is to freeze half, even depending on how many people there are, sometimes even 3/4 of the dough, and just have it on hand. It tastes just as good when you take it out of the freezer a few days or a few weeks or whatever period after. So now we're just going to gently combine these ingredients, and I'll show you what it looks like once it's there. Alright, so I'm going to add in a little bit of this right now. And we're going to need to incorporate this slowly. And once it's just incorporated, add in a little more, because we really do not want to, we want this cookie to be nice and soft. We don't want it to be, very tough, so we don't want to work. So actually I'm doing this in 2 segments. I probably could have done it in a little more. So I'm just going to incorporate this a little bit, and I kind of pulse it because this is such a large batter that it eventually goes near the top. We still have 3 big ingredients to add. And so, all right, so you kind of want to mix it just till it's halfway, and then we are going to add in our rolled oats, the Rice Krispies or rice cereal. This really just adds that crunch that you're looking for in a cookie. And our chocolate chips. Oh, I'm telling you, this is going to be amazing. Just wait. I haven't made this in a while, so I'm kind of very excited. Now, as you can see, like, this is a very large batter, so I have to, like, literally pulse it. Like, because it's literally, the batter is at the top of my bowl right now. That's how big this recipe is. The next step is going to be bringing this off the beater first of all. Getting all, we want all that goodiness. Alright, and I'll just bring this close to you so you can see exactly what it looks like. You can see this is a very soft dough. So what you're going to need to do is refrigerate it for about, I still like the dough a bit soft, but this is definitely way too soft to roll into balls. So I would say at least 15 or 20 minutes in the refrigerator. Alright, so I let the cookie dough cool in the fridge for about 20 minutes. And so now I've taken it out and it's time to put it on a cookie sheet. Now I'm going to use a cookie sheet and a cookie scoop. Scoop is the word I'm looking for. And basically I'm going to scoop them on, and I'm going to make, you can really vary it. I find when I make cookies I like to make some really big ones and then for the rest make normal size ones. For this one I'm going to use a 1/4 cup ice cream scoop. So they're going to end up being fairly large cookies. So I've put the cookies on this baking sheet. Now they're so big that I really only think I'm going to be able to make 5 at a time. As you can see, they need to be pretty spread out because they are going to spread. So depending on the size of the cookie, it's going to vary. So this is where your personal preference come in. I like it nice, soft, and chewy with a golden brown kind of exterior. I don't really like it very crunchy. I like it soft and chewy. And I like to, my objective for smaller cookies is usually to have them really thin and long. I like those types. But anyways, as far as these cookies go, these will go in the oven. For me, I have a fast oven because it's a fan oven. It's going to go in a 350-degree oven. For, I would say, about, for most ovens, it would probably be about 15 minutes. I'm going to check on it after 10, and I'll show you what it looks like once they're done. Chocolate chip oatmeal Rice Krispie banana almond butter cookies. The ultimate cookie. This cookie, when you first take it out of the oven and first have it, it is so soft. If you put it in just for around 10 minutes, it's so nice and soft and chewy. And one thing I would mention is that the oats that you use really do make a difference. If you want a really chewy texture, you need to use the old-fashioned oats. You don't want to use those instant ones. And the best way to store these cookies is at room temperature and in an airtight container to keep them from drying out. And what I usually love to do is with these cookies is warm them up and serve them with a scoop of ice cream. It's incredible. So please let me know what you think of this recipe. It's delicious, and I hope you do enjoy it.